Привет. Общаемся в чате.
Раз-два, раз-два. Доброго вечера. Продолжим наше тягостное прохождение новой игры под названием STARFIELD. Так, на чем мы остановились? Ага, нужно найти некого кайзера, робота, на планете Неира. Планета была выжжена большой войной с участием роботов. Также, скорее всего, здесь принимали участие ксеноморфы. Это те самые пироморфы, по-моему, они называются. Так, и товарищ нам за символическую сумму дал информацию, где нам этого робота искать.
Hey! New model on the floor. Welcome to the one-of-a-kind. Refuge and rest home for the hardest scrappers anywhere. Name's Jill. Proprietor. So formal. The pleasure's all mine, my good man. Angelo Alonso, at your service. You can call me Jill.
Геля.
Can I get you started on a tab, then? Or you here to try and make your fortune in the fields? I'm happy to take your credits however you want to hike them over.
По-моему, я с ним уже
No better
торговал.
selection on the planet.
Так, отмычки нам нужны. Пожалуй, все. Расскажи-ка нам, что такое
No
кайзер.
bot around here with that tag. Oh, unless you mean Captain Ahab? At least that's what we've all been calling him. No clue what his actual designation is, since he's got some sort of security protocol that prevents inquiries and general chit-chat. But he's a combat bot, right? Yeah, that machine's been out there a while now, hunting this one siren. His white whale. But it's been a while since anyone's laid eyes on Captain Ahab, though. Maybe he finally got the thing. Or it got him. Moby Dick? Old Earth story about one Captain Ahab chasing some big fish that's bound to get him killed? No? We all thought the name
Не
was a good
слышал.
fit since our bot friend was so damn busy chasing that siren of his. Quality slate, too. Think I got a copy for sale if you want to give it a look. Nasty kind of alien left behind after the colony war. Pretty much blind. Original ones brought to Nera were all
А, вот
xenoweapons.
да. Все
Those
оружие было
critters
на
have
Нире.
long since passed. but they left behind more than enough untrained babies to keep the fields plenty interesting.
Это потомки ксеноморфов.
That's where I recognize that insignia. Red Devils. Yeah, Ahab's definitely your bot. So, sounds like you've got two options. You can wander around out there, hunting your bot, little old white whale of your very own. Maybe you find him, maybe you get yourself killed. But knowing this rock is part of what we do here, so if you want to find him a whole lot faster, I'll sell you what I know about this. Kaiser's location.
Ну как же без этого?
Going rate's a little steep, but I'm willing to negotiate.
Может быть, попробуем его убедить.
I'm listening.
Сразу бахнуть на 4. Кто знает, сколько времени пройдет, прежде чем вы получите другое предложение.
Don't think I'm desperate or
Да, весомый
anything,
аргумент.
but you do have a point.
И теперь остается нам добить 2 деления. Больше никому об этом знать не нужно.
I wish I could,
Нет, не сработало.
but if anybody found out I'd helped you,
Попробовать ему пригрозить?
calm
Да.
down. Maybe we can work this out. Okay. You made your point. I'll give you a discount.
Что там, 500 кредитов? А, 675. Давай, рассказывай.
Pleasure doing business with you. So, last anyone heard of him, he was out near the Syracuse. Shipwreck about a quarter click down the main strip. One of my roughnecks said he heard some kind of beacon. Just keep your ears open. You should find your machine. Eyes open too. Sirens and ecliptic out there, and neither takes prisoners. Oh, and corpse retrieval is not included in this transaction, so now you know. Give Ahab a Kaiser our best.
Благодарю. Так, значит, там будет опасно.
Careful in the field, short-termer. Plenty of bodies out there that didn't come with the war.
I'm pleased to see scrappers disassembling these mechs. Damn well, it's being raised with history.
Так, там внизу. Что случилось? Кого-то убивали там. Ладно, я думаю, разберутся. Не зря здесь строили стоят. Они оборону знают. Как бы нам безопаснее всего туда добраться? Да, ну и трэш здесь, конечно, происходил. Такое ощущение, что просто бахнули разом по всей планете и закончили это непотребство. Здесь еще и мины. Понял. Так, а что наше оружие умеет? А, ядовитый. Против людей. Нормальный такой дробовичок. Это какой-то корабль. А, червячков надо расстрелять, да?
It's as though it's been picked apart from the inside out.
Contamination eliminated.
Совсем устал.
Wood required.
Хороший пароль.
Voice controls unlocked. Attempting to resume. Attempting to error. Power level insufficient. Battery required. Type
Блин, а у него был микроцелл-то.
required.
Я видел его у торговца. Ну, наверное, мы где-нибудь найдем его сейчас. А, он, наверное, на корабле. Вот. Да, блин, придется опять шекели ему отсыпать. Так, меня увидели. Комбат музыка. Я думаю, что нет. Так, вернемся. Как безопаснее. Что, нормально так стоило у него. Бедные червяки. А этот заныкался от турелей.
Get you something? Ah, so that's where your machine's been. Ran out of juice.
Скорее всего, он сам его и вытащил и
Heat
барыжит.
leeches, wasn't it?
Засранец.
Those little stowaways are everywhere on this rock. Suck the power out of a pen light if you let them. But a microcell, that's military grade tech. I think we might have one, but I can promise you, it's not going to be cheap. You could probably Frankenstein one together using our fabrication system here, but only if you had some quality schematics. So, I just brace for a little sticker shock.
Интересно, а что он предложит по
Lots of money
самому
to be
заработку?
made on mech scrap if you know where to look. And I just happen to sell a guide that'll show you the best spots to get started. Couple of words of warning, though.
Опять продает.
As you may have put together, Neera's more dangerous than a cellophane airlock. And it's not just the environment that'll kill you. UC brought xeno-weapons here during the Colony War, and more than a few decided to put down roots. Sirens are the ones you really need. You've also
ты
got
уже
the
говорил.
unauthorized scrappers. Ecliptic being the worst of the bunch. Kill you for looking at them wrong. Luckily, we sell a wide array of problem solvers in various colors and calibers. Any Neera scrapping expedition start.
По-моему, у тебя оружия не
Here's what
было
I've
вообще.
got.
Что ты продаешь? Что нет у тебя? Никаких решателей проблем. Прицел 11 тысяч. Да. Давай
Wouldn't have
инструменты
lasted real
показывай.
long here, doing what we do without a top-notch fabric. So long as you've got the specs, it should be able to handle making you a microcell. But finding materials up to the task, you're likely going to be sifting through quite a few mech hulks out there to find what you need. Though, if you think you can actually manage something like that, I'm willing to make you a deal. I'll point you towards the juiciest harvest sites. Spots where you should be able to find quality parts. But in return, any excess materials you collect, you sell to me, all right? Save us from risking our necks on another run out there. What do you say?
Ну, конечно. Кто, если не я, самое пекло. Давай.
Then let me just mark those collection points. Watch yourself out there.
Так, где-то у него была станция.
Don't get a load of visitors coming through. Can't imagine what keeps them away.
I'm pleased to see scrappers disassembling these mechs. Damn war machines are better off being erased from history.
Don't forget, whatever else you find in those spots, you sell to me, all right?
Так, ладно, наверное, нужно к нему возвращаться будет просто. Да, сирены здесь жесткие. У меня, по-моему, оружия против инопланетян-то и нет. Да, против людей только есть. Возможно, будет больно падать. Вроде чисто все. Так у меня же есть этот хлам. Я с ботов собирал. Ну ладно, сейчас пробежимся. А, тут, видимо, отдельные компоненты. Уникальные. Так, вот там уже зверюги. Может, мы сможем обойти? Нет, они уже меня заметили.
Ecliptic must be getting desperate.
Что ты
They've
пугаешь-то меня
resorted to
так?
searching piles of scrap for mech
Перебили
parts.
всех.
If you're searching them, make it quick.
Опа. Это кто? Это уже эклиптика, походу, да? Да. Жирный какой чувак. Сара хорош. Подкосила. Ну-ка. Минус 15% входящего урона в ближнем бою. Плюс 25 сопротивление воздушному движению. Такое себе. Так, ударник. Барабанный дробовик. А, винтовка. 9 урон. Попробуем.
Attention Ecliptic personnel. We've received viable intel on the location of another colony war era facility, specifically a research lab. It's somewhere in the Narian system, possibly already occupied by pirates of the Crimson Fleet. As has already been communicated by Commander Creek, you have full authorization to claim the facility for Ecliptic and appropriate anything deemed viable for our combat operations. If the base is, in fact, under the control of the Crimson Fleet or anyone else, Command grants full authorization to eliminate that threat using any means necessary. Captain Bale's out.
На выход. Понятно. Дали нам квест еще. Зачистка лаборатории. Ну я прям в Fallout попал, 4. Прям отсылочка такая. Так, тут мы были уже. Тара, не мешай. Сирены, кстати, страшнее, чем эклиптика. Даже 30 уровня. Но я думаю, мы ее сейчас замочим. Опыт они хорошо дают. Убегает. К своим, что ли? Нет. О, кто ее? Сара, ты что ли ее? Там еще много хп было. А, понятно.
So that's what those look like on the inside.
Да, тварин, конечно, такая. Так, это последнее место, куда мы должны завернуть. Да я же вышел из жидкости-то. Всё. Как ты здесь оказалась, вопрос. Ну давай, торгаш.
Finest supplies on the planet. Also, only supplies on the planet.
А, нет, этот не к нему. А, вот верстачок. Так, микроцелл готова к изготовлению. Что мы еще можем сделать? Пока мне это не надо. Мы лучше на исследование потратим очки. Этот чувак просил продать ему остальной хлам. Но я что-то не хочу им продавать. Бред. Кусаются. Да сколько вас здесь? Сару положили, блин. Так, тем временем мы, по-моему, получили очко навыков. Куда бы его потратить? Вот в убеждение хочется вкладываться. Очень уж помогает оно решать конфликты и вопросы быстрее. Давай, работай.
Battery accepted. Operational power levels restored. Analyzing. Residual damage detected. Impact shielding. Visual systems. Damage within acceptable limits. Thank you for your aid. I must resume my mission. Please step aside.
Война закончилась, братан. Тепловые пиявки.
Energy siphoning pests. Nested as I reset from my last altercation. Good to have them gone at long last.
А, они на устройства всякие, да, прилипают, питаются. Прикольно.
Weapon disarmament. High risk. So I will ask you to stand aside. My damage is within acceptable thresholds. I have done more with less. Although previous attempts to disarm the weapon have been unsuccessful. Additional support may allow me to complete my active mission more quickly, allowing me to leave this place.
Да, я угадаю, я должен тебе помочь. Скорее всего, я не говорю его.
Excellent. We must disarm Unit XW-99. Designation Siren. Nearest final xeno-weapon. Are you ready to proceed to the mission site?
I'm sorry. You're chasing a real, living xeno-weapon. Weren't they all wiped out?
They will be. Unit 99 has proven a capable adversary. External support, however, seems the most likely path to disarming it. Follow me.
Я думаю, мы справимся с задачей.
Mind your step, as you have no doubt witnessed. This region can be hazardous to organic.
Какой заботливый робот.
Search protocols triggered. Begin scan.
Oh, please don't tell me you're going to eat that.
Есть. Ты что? А что, можно съесть? Не рассказывай, нельзя. Походу, я всех уже почистил, кого он там хотел. А, там, видимо, какая-то мега-сирена.
Unit 99 is on the other side of that ridge, but it appears to be under the control of hostile forces. Sensors suggest Ecliptic, a mercenary company like Ecliptic, would only want Unit 99 to utilize it as a weapon. This means Unit 99 must be disarmed immediately. Standard procedure would be a frontal assault on the outpost. No quarter given.
Мне нравится его подход.
If you concur.
Согласен. Давай найдем порядок.
I'm in total agreement. A frontal assault sounds like it's in order.
Даже Сара согласилась. Офигеть. Погнали, братан.
Be advised. Possible threat detected.
Может, мне все-таки с тылу зайти как-то аккуратненько. Да нет, вместе с пробки пойдем.
We'll have to take them all down.
Блин, на шумиху еще пробежала хрень. Блин, робот горит уже. Передохни, дружище. Да блин, мимо. Сейчас мы ему еще мину наложим туда. Дробовиком, наверное, его добирать. Готов. Эй, куда? Так, что ты мне дал? Так, кислород 20%. Ресурсы 25 меньше. 5% шанса обезвредить нападающих поблизости. Странное описание, ну ладно. наверное, сейчас обрыскать. Еще одна сирена. Вот это была, да, большая?
Whoa, where did they go?
Бежала, не стала ввязываться в бой. Да, мозги у них есть. Наверное. Да, убежала. Так, что у них здесь интересного?
Guess they ran away.
Ровным счетом ничего.
Our work here is finished. Now, what is this mission that requires my expertise? That. That is a cause I would like to be a part of. You are docked at one of a kind. I will meet you there. Kill protocols active.
А, нет. Не очень умное животное.
Let's do this.
Блин, точно надо было взлом качать. Хотя бы до эксперта.
that was locked.
То есть закончили?
I picked up something you might be
Locked
interested in.
area ready for liftoff.
Unless we're picking up parts at Doma or digging for minerals, I hope you have a good reason for landing here.
I can't believe it.
Major Sanon, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion. Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the plan. Come on.
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with. So the problem we're up against is vast. Terramorphs, they can be anywhere. Meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come on, I'll walk you through what we're thinking. You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? The thing that eats terramorphs, the Asyles?
Что-то не помню. Ну-ка, рассказывай.
That as a no, then. Yes, there are. Apparently, the Asylees were bloodhounds for terramorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asylees were chosen to fill in the gaps. We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few remaining specimens. As you can see, what we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using some of the same technologies that were used to create me. We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asylees' hunting skills to track down the terramorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them, and put an end to the terramorph problem definitively.
Да, то же самое опять. Выращивание всяких инопланетян.
I suppose that's a fair comparison. Except that this time, we'd be protecting human lives, not ending them. Now, there is another option for removing the terramorphs from our worlds. It's faster, maybe even more efficient, but riskier. A microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with terramorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no other method could hold a candle to it when it comes to sheer efficiency. Not even the Asylees.
Но микроб выглядит эффективнее.
Well, that's still not 100%. But it sounds like the Vanguard will actually be picking up a fair bit of it. But there's no sense in hammering down those sorts of details before we've made a decision on which route we're taking. It would be the more efficient option. With either path, though, we're looking at a long-term commitment. Years of work. Even just getting these plans off the ground is going to take time. And all routes are going to require some highly specific materials to make things work. Terramorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Asylees' gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes' tracking skills. Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around. But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all the materials we need. All paths lead to Londinian. It's dangerous, yes. But Kaiser, Percival, and I, we've trained for this. And you're not so green yourself. And the last thing I want right now is for the UC to stick us with some gung-ho jarhead who's gonna put us and the mission at risk. Captain, you're the reason we're all here right now. You're the person I think can help us finish it. Will you join us on this? It was the central hub for Asylees processing during the Colony War. But, and this part's exciting, the terramorph data suggests Asylees were first found there. The planet it's on, Toliman II, was their homeworld. Meaning, there's a very good chance their prey, the terramorphs, came from that same world. Which would also explain why no one ever suspected that planet as the terramorph source world. The Asylees were too damn effective at cleaning them up. Additionally, it explains why once the Asylees were gone, the outbreak there was so catastrophic. Londinian could very well be where the terramorph saga began. And the key to its end. I think this is the answer we've been looking for. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinian's outskirts. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hatoum, when we touch down. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous with you there. But you need to know, Londinian, it belongs to the Terramorphs. They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite arms on hand. Excuse me.
This is quite an impressive research facility.
Goddamn planet.
When it comes to the study
You
of the
romanticize a
Terramorphs,
place when
the
you're
Red
away from it
Devils
for
are
long
sparing
enough.
no
But I
expense.
forgot what a dust-crusted pit Mars can be. Now you, what do you need? Oh, nothing. I love having to take a toothbrush to every crate they drag in here. Now you gonna tell me what you need, or can I get back to my work? It's come up on my performance evals. But I know the needs of this facility inside and out. So, everyone has to deal with it. Not that it should matter to you. I'm sorry. Who are you again? Oh, that's you then. I was informed we might be working together. Don't much care for Vanguard. But sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back in New Atlantis. My sister's kids live in the city. So, thank you for what you did there. Of course. Consider yourself verified. Here's what I've got in stock.
Attention vessel, you have entered restricted space. Please respond. This world is off limits. You are advised to jump to safe harbor immediately. Let me check my logs. All right, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
So this is Londonian. I've heard the stories, but I've never seen it with my own eyes. To Venus? Until later.
Inside the barriers, double time! You with the Xeno unit? You're heading to command, far end of the compound.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were an eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like this. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander Hatum, I'm...
No need for introductions, Major Sinon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other? We'll do our best. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field.
Pinpoint's a bit strong.
The equipment will be able to get us a rough location of any acceptable samples in the scan area. It'll be up to you, Kaiser, and I to find the things. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city.
Transfer's complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to most facilities.
Hey. You match our description. The Vanguard captain? The cabinet wanted you to have something. Make sure you had the best tools for the task at hand. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Нормально. Выдали нам снаряжение. Так, вот только с патронами, наверное, проблема. 7,77. 2000, это прям улетит, мне кажется. Блин, ну снарягу они дают, конечно. Ну-ка посмотрим. Ну, хуже, чем мой. Но создан специально для пришельцев. Может быть, даже попробовать его. Автомедик, да? Ну, рюкзачок хороший какой. Мощный джетпак, то есть можно летать. Ну, вообще полный фарш. Зажигательный. Ну все, держитесь. Инопланетяшки. Патронов только маловато.
Word of advice while you're out there. Don't trust what the voices tell you. Give him one for me, all right?
О, птички. Нормально, ребята, заряжены. Ну что, я готов, ребята.
Can't chat right now.
Так, а сколько у нас аптечек-то осталось? Мало, 10.
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this? Yeah, just pre-mission jitters. You hear about a place for so long, it maybe gets bigger in your head than it should be. But you don't need to worry about me. I'll be all right. Now, are we doing this or not? Then let's get this show on the road. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
Alright. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
What? That creature. It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway. Let's put it down. Clean him up.
Bring it on! Last one over here! And that, my friend, is how we do things on Jameson. You're going to be carrying that chewy mess, right?
Looks like the last of them. No sign of the morph, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, we close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Drag around all that gear.
Scanning. Target unavailable.
Closer now.
Surrounded. All around. No way out.
сразу взлом поставим, а то уже не кошерно как-то. А, я еще не могу сделать, блин. Жесть. Я все патроны в них садил. Что дальше делать, не знаю. Я думаю, разгружаться, как минимум.
Goodbye. Get out of here.
А, у нас там вроде гранатомет есть. Надо, наверное, сейчас стащить. Где Сара-то?
Nice work. No. Earlier scan picked up a valid terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. Quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
You've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Good work with the bartender. Let's see what you got.
Так, вот ударная волна.
Bye-bye.
Смотрим, как у нас будет с 40-миллиметровыми гранатами.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it? You know, no one even realized it was brought it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. A real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
Ух ты.
What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only. What's happening? Have you seen this? Are terramorphs.
What? No, it can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live everywhere. That means terramorphs. Oh my god.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
Теперь эти пиявки у нас цель номер один.
That I don't have an answer for right now. But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and terramorphs. The Aciles we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both.
Так, сделаем небольшой перерывчик. Так, на месте.
I am sincerely inclined to agree, but current evidence suggests nature manages it just fine. The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leach transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up?
Вполне возможно.
But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Combat procedures activated.
Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks. A bioweapon no one would recognize as one. Oh, that's a terrifying prospect. Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. And the sort of thing whoever did this probably didn't expect us to uncover. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport.
The entrance is this way. Sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required. Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senna, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. Condemned this whole city to death. He's...
No, he's worse than a murderer. He is a butcher. He doesn't give a damn about human lives. He simply uses them as pawns to satisfy his goals.
Yes. exactly what we all thought he was. But if the plant was used to trigger the attacks, could Faye Victus have been involved in the massacre on New Atlantis? Good point. Deal with one monster at a time. Let's go get that final sample. Try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
just stashed.
We're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Hey, was worried about that myself. Though I know I wasn't nearly as much at risk of limb loss as you all were. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vae Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
It's a bit more complicated than that. Captain, he needs to know. Vae Victus is alive, which means he could have been involved in the attacks.
Alive? He's... Vae Victus? That can't be true, right?
Unfortunately for us all, yes, it's true.
So that means we have a suspect.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain, Percival and I, we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But Vae Victus is the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get him. Good. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you for dealing with him.
To my crew position.
To leave this orbit immediately. The United Colonies will not be held responsible for any harm you suffer by proceeding. Critical mission? Oh, you're with the collective. extraction team, aren't you? Fine. We'll send word you're on your way down. Be advised, you are entering United Colony space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. You are cleared to...
I have things for you. To Venus? I do. You must have read my mind. Not at all. Exploration is my entire life. That being said, before I we called us. And before you ask, the band never really went in. Certainly. I always enjoy our... Bye.
This doesn't add up.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? They'll have our table ready soon.
We have to come early.
Welcome to Whetstone.
It's a matter of courtesy.
We always wind up waiting.
I guarantee you won't be dis-
On worse fates than eating appetizers at the Whetstone. I don't get why people think it's okay to keep their friends waiting so long. As you can see, traffic is good. The sales keep climbing.
You're only as... I would never dream of so... please do. Be careful out there. If there's anything you need, yes, by all means, have a look. See you around.
you were looking for? I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be... Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble? Not a bad thought. But no. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found. But we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Easy to say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. the pilot of the Warlock. The man I had to eliminate. To hide my secret. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient. Dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective. Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure. Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. Maybe more. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war, or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same, and leave my name out of the discussions to come. Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays, track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here.
Only 1 point of excellent. Hello.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sanan name than him.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Vey Victus's responsibility? Just like the dooming of Londinion? Oh, that's insane. All that, just to help restore the family name? How did he ever think that was going to work?
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people, and I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head, unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. Acyles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the acyles, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence. but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vayvictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note your request when the decision is made. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President. Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
That's true. With all the mistakes and the deception that's been going on, the UC has an obligation to be as open and honest as possible.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, You want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
I doubt there's another body in the galaxy that could pull it off.
Absolutely correct. There are no better hands in the galaxy for this project than ours.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Suppose that's true. Well, we can remedy that right now. Here we go. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary. Sounds like spacers tried scrapping some ships, with their pilots still in them. Go show them the error of their ways.
Cool spacesuit.
I'm always ready to make a deal. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen. You've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner. Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Another day, another credit.
infinitely better than the last interceptor.
But why did they replace the handler? I thought the actress was amazing.
She turned him down. She apparently signed on to do some Shakespeare film. King Lear, I think.
Oh, no, you damn bastard.
Good work with the bartender. Won't be glad to haul whatever you need. So long. If you're overloaded, we should stop and prioritize what we're carrying.
prepare to be scanned. And we're done. Enjoy Sidonia.
Mars, eh? Always take me to the nicest places.
But you all are here because you can handle it. So any questions, concerns, anything at all giving you pause, you come see Dr. Walker or I. Little problems left unchecked become big problems. And we fix big problems here, not make them. Now let's get to work. Welcome everyone to the TMD. Howdy.
Pardon?
Look who it is.
Oh yeah. Known each other since the Xenoweapons team first set up on Mars.
You can imagine my shock when I walked into this place for the first time and found some plucky 19-year-old was gonna be my partner. We were supposed to be co-heads initially, but you've dealt with Hadrian. You can imagine about how long that lasted. But the Major knew her stuff. Saw potential in all her staff and knew how to get the best out of them. Kind of bull only an uncynical woman like Hadrian could pull off. For all the damage that group did, we were, well, we were real tight-knit. Having that back, it's nice. Who knows? Probably need to cut me down and count the rings to figure it out at this point.
I joined UC DRIP, Defense Research and Initiative Program, right after graduation.
Worked on all kinds of projects, but I fell hard for Xenobio. Way I saw it, nature had already figured out plenty more than we ever will. So, why not just copy some of the answers? Initially, it was a lot of material sciences, using carapace to make tougher ship hulls, biofluids for helmet glass that didn't fog.
But when the war started looming, top brass in the UC military had other ideas for what we should be looking into. That's where Xenoweapons got started. There was a team before us, set up in some secret base somewhere, that laid down a fair bit of groundwork on the field. But when a lab accident took them down, they called on Hadrian and I to take up the mantle, set in motion everything that's come since.
Why? You want to watch an old man squirm? What we did back then, we were trying to win a war. We used every tool we had, tools we were permitted to use at the time, to try and win it. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. But at least now, with the TMD, some of that work is finally being put to better ends. Makes looking back a little less painful.
You heard right. These terramorph attacks, they caught the UC off guard. UC brass doesn't like that. So, they want us patrolling the front lines of xenological life, ensure we've got intel on any possible new alien threats. Which means, we need someone to track down said aliens, and harvest samples from them. And not just any sample from these animals is gonna do either. We're trying to build a comprehensive picture here.
which requires specific cells from specific family lines of some oftentimes unfriendly creatures. But since dealing with unfriendly creatures falls square in your wheelhouse, well, I figured we might be able to recruit you for the task. Pretty much every beast, behemoth, critter, and chimera humanity's run across is on the list. But we can send in-house researchers after the little guys. Your job will be primarily dealing with the, more troublesome species. This isn't the same sort of harvesting you and Hadrian were doing with the Terramorphs. A little will go a long way here. If you can get close enough to these creatures to harvest from them directly, you should be able to collect what we need without killing them. I checked with Lieutenant Walter before heading out. A good EM weapon could serve you well on these missions. Though, if heavens forbid, there's no viable option other than putting the things down. We're only talking a select few specimens here. These populations will recover. Glad to hear it. There is just one additional wrinkle. UC spec'd this as a one-person job, but I convinced them this sort of task merits expert backup. So, if you're interested, they've agreed to let you take Hadrian with you. You'll have to convince her, of course, but I don't think she'll fight you too badly. We could use Hadrian here, absolutely, but we have other scientists. Not a lot of other people can go up against apex predators and come home again and again. You and Hadrian are the right people for this job. I expect she wouldn't mind too badly being out there herself, so pay her a visit before you head out. Now, let's get you the details of your first quarry. Here you go. Head there, find your specimens, and bring those samples back here. I'll have a tech waiting outside to collect them from you.
It's a damn shame that it was necessary to reopen this facility. But someone has to deal with the fact that the Terramorphs have resurfaced.
Take care of yourself out there.
Картошка.
Chance you could track down that Terramorph digestion slave we were working with yesterday?
Definitely. I'll take care of it this afternoon.